Jalen, all anyone can talk about is what happened at the Oscars last evening. The second it happened, I thought it was fake. The second I realized it was real, I said, I need to know what my brother Jalen Anthony Rose has to say about the Will Smith to Chris Rock smack at the Oscars.
First off, not only could we have done this entire show on this, I really want to do a 30 for 30 on this. I have so much to say about this topic, David Jacoby. And let me show you where the root of all of this started. First off, they're all public figures. Chris Rock is a 57-year-old man. Will Smith is a 53-year-old man. The slander on Will's name started with the whole interview about the relationship with he and Jada's entanglement.
The entanglements. Yep.
That's when it really started. That's when people started to really feel like they can assassinate his character as a public figure, that is. And so now all of a sudden, you're at the biggest stage, you're at the Oscars, and people are gonna be cracking jokes. Like, I was watching the entire show, there were other people cracking jokes on everybody. And I know as soon as they put the camera to Uncle Sam, I ain't gonna even lie, I was like, I hope they don't crack no mean joke on Uncle Sam to make him mad too, you know what I'm saying? But he was good. And shout to Uncle Denzel, it was great to see him there. You know, that's family to me. And so as Chris Rock was telling his jokes and doing his set, there's an undercurrent here. Jada Pinkett has alopecia. And so that's the reason that she's not wearing her signature haircut that we've grown familiar with for a very long time. And then there are some people that say, well, whatever. They try to minimize how she may feel about somebody making jokes about her or whatever. That's on them, that's on their relationship. It's not on us to decide if he should kiss her before they go on stage and do all of that. So people kind of have now parachuted into their home and parachuted into their bedroom based on a lot of the information that they shared with us. And so now all of a sudden that's gonna make the situation highly sensitive. And so when Chris Rock said his joke, Will actually was laughing. You see what I'm saying? And so the reaction 30 seconds later ended up having him on stage smacking Chris Rock. Now, there's a way that you want to see people comport themselves. There's going to be a line of people that say he's disrespectful. First off, any man that's married is going to agree with Will Smith. You ain't going to find a man that's married and be like, hey, He'll be like, he's defending his wife. And then anybody that's about the entertainment aspect or the comedy aspect or even the sports aspect, it continues to blur the lines of what's going too far. And David Jacoby once taught me that you can be mean if you're funny. Well, a lot of people thought he was being mean and funny, but Will Smith didn't. And Jaden Smith, who tweeted about it, didn't. And I believe and I hope that they can find some solace as men. I know Chris Rock is going to go on tour with Kevin Hart or do some shows, and this is now going to be great material for him as a professional. I know Will Smith, who eventually got a chance to atone for himself, won the biggest award for the night, representing Richard Williams, and shout to Venus and Serena, the queens who were there to represent, and Beyonce, and so many great stars. It was a great festive night. And so I was happy that he actually won the award, so he got a chance to go back on stage to atone for his behavior. But I gotta just say this. Hey, other black people, you commit an assault versus people at an award show, they gonna escort you out. You know what I'm saying? Will Smith got that VIP, extra VIP pass.
Yeah, he stayed right there in the front row.
You see what I'm saying?
I was surprised he was still there.
You see what I'm saying?
Right in the front row.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You getting escorted out. This, I say this is happening for an audience of one. That's what this is right now. And so again, I'm glad he got a chance to win the award to atone for his behavior, but everybody knows on that stage, you believe there's a better way for adults to comport themselves. And I'm glad Will went up there to apologize because he knows that's not the venue to behave that way.
Yeah, smacking people in the face is not the answer, especially on that stage. However, when it's all said and done, it is kind of funny. The whole thing was kind of funny. Chris Rock's face, he was just like, did I just get smacked on stage at the Oscars?
You got to see the
Chris Rock
uncut
was
one.
not ready for it. Yeah, he was not ready for it. Like, he's like, what's happening? Will Smith is walking up here right now. He thought that Will Smith was going to shake his hand and make a joke or something, but no.
Well, Will is bigger than him. Will is bigger than him.
Lean back,
in better
bang.
shape, and strong. He was just playing Richard Williams, so he was in character. And he was on his Dave Chappelle with the 4 fingers, say to the face, slap. You know what I mean? And
I shouldn't be laughing at this. Violence is never the answer, but this is funny.
violence is never that.
This whole thing
We're
is
not
funny to
promoting,
me.
like KRS One said, we're not promoting violence. We just having some fun. And this happened on national
Just
television.
having some fun.
And we were all watching it. But again, this is not how you behave. But I have to say this about Chris Rock. If he responds physically in any way, shape, or form, that could have become the ugliest scene that we could have ever seen in the history of an award show. So I have to applaud him for how he also accepted the slap. Because if he would have did anything but that incident would have probably spilled on the stage and into the crowd, and then it would have really got a lot more messy.
And this is definitely going to lead to at least 20 or 30 minutes of the next Chris Rock special, and I can't wait to see that either. I also can't wait to discuss the magician with the basketball, Kyrie Irving. He is in Brooklyn playing basketball for the Nets. We'll talk about that. And we have plenty of time before the Final Four this weekend. We'll get back to those games later in the week, but right now it's time to turn our attention to the dumpster fire that is the Los Angeles Lakers this season. They played the Pelicans over the weekend, and these games are critical because both the Pelicans and the Lakers are sitting right around that 9-10 spot in the Western Conference, and it was the Lakers who blew a 23-point lead in New Orleans and now are just one game ahead of the Spurs to make the play-in to even have a chance at the playoffs. Jalen, what do you think about this disaster from the Lakers?
LeBron James offensively has been remarkable, playing up front, a lot of minutes. And while that's not the best thing defensively for their team, it's really good for him offensively. And so one of the things I want to acknowledge that he's scored over 35 in like 4 or 5 straight games. Like, that's remarkable for a player at this point of his career. But you see him bumping into a big guy right there. I showed you that with Anthony Davis when he got hurt against Rudy Gobert. That's the thing, like, when you start to play a position that you're not, like, physically used to playing, like, those guys just bump into you and you get hurt. How many times did that happen? You go down and try to swipe the ball from a big guy, you playing reg ball, you just turn around and elbow you like you just a fly. And I want to make sure I give the Pelicans a shout because when you're down 23, that's a character builder. Brandon Ingram got drafted and played for the Lakers. They just acquired C.J. McCollum. Willie Green is in his first year as the head coach. They're not playing with Zion. How are they going to respond to a team that they're looking at in a potential play-in situation? And after this loss, the Lakers, it seems like I've watched them blow so many double-digit 20-point leads this year, almost like your Knicks. It had me thinking. I looked at their schedule, and unlike Biggie when he did the crack commands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I was like, LeBron ain't playing in all of them games.
No, he's not.
I'm like,
no, especially with that hurt ankle now.
I know in Cleveland he said this is the most time that most fun that he's having. But last night when he was getting his ankle iced and in the hyperbaric chamber and doing hot and cold tub and limping around with crutches, he was appreciating getting close to the scoring title, but he was not appreciating getting closer to the bottom of the West. Didn't you say the Lakers were a dumpster fire? The bottom of the West. And they have LeBron James on the team. That is crazy.
The Spurs are not even trying to make the playoffs. They look up like, oh, we can make the play-in tournament? Okay, I guess we'll do that then. That is how this Lakers season has gone thus far, and they are not making the playoffs. They might not even make the play-in. But Jalen, it is finally time for us to discuss what